Welcome back. Kate Bowditch here. We're on session number 4 of our Finding the Dream. Where is the dream? It's clearer now. I hope you see your own hurdles to getting there. And we're going to spend another day, or at least another session here, on those hurdles, because they have held you back a long time. And much of our resistance to overcoming hurdles has to do with things we learned when we were awfully small. Maybe you didn't learn to read easily. Maybe you kept getting lost on your way to school. Bad old days, we all walked. Who knows? Who knows where it all went in? But that was all a long time ago. And so we want to take a good look at the hurdles now and say, what can we do? So, here we begin. It's quite big there. Now, we've taken Monkey Mind. That was yesterday, or the last session. We took Monkey Mind and we've put him over here. He's going to run up and down the flagpole, because we just don't want to know right now all of his opinions. We know what they are, and they don't need to be repeated, so he's gone. And yet here we are. We're at the fear hurdle. And these are the fears that we have. These are the gates that are open, and the fear oozes into these. So we're going to begin today and really take a look at this harm to self fear. We are self-protective. That's our job. We learn to be cautious. We learn to look around corners. Okay, that's good. What happens is many times we kind of get stuck in the caution, and we learn to find out what's wrong with everything that's possible. Let's go camping this weekend. I don't know, it might rain. And there was a hole in the sleeping bag last time, and I don't know. Let's repaint the house. Oh gosh, that means we have to replace all the drains, and we might find rats, and I just don't want to deal with those too. So we know how to keep ourselves in that place of absolute status quo. And that's what we know how to do. Now, it's interesting how that all occurs, because in fact, when you're born, you're thrown out into the universe, and you're supposed to learn how to breathe within a minute and a half. You are supposed to learn how to cry. Pretty soon, they're going to be all over you to crawl and to walk and to this and to that and to all these different. People love it when babies learn things. Oh, he learns so quickly, it's just marvelous. And somewhere in there, you also try to do things differently or in a new way, or you try to do something you're not quite ready for, like riding the bicycle when you're down here pedaling and the seat and the handlebars are way up here. And parents say, oh, no, you can't do that. You don't know how to do that. Don't do that. They sometimes get very afraid when you move too quickly. And they will say things to you that back you up, that stop you dead in your tracks. And that's that fear of abandonment. Right here, it's kind of small, but this is a big one, abandonment. That your parents will not love you unless you go absolutely according to their pace. Now, that's not because they're evil. It's because they really didn't get it themselves. And maybe it's a 4th generation clockmaker, and you're supposed to make clocks too, and what you really want to do is be a professional surfer. You're gonna get some pushback. And the harm to yourself can be, wow, you're gonna go do that? You go do that. I'll give my inheritance to your sister. She appreciates me. I've heard that. You'll be off doing something, and everybody else will be home having a Thanksgiving dinner, and they will send you all the pictures of how wonderful it was, because you're off really trying to make your dream come true. And these are some of the risks that you have to be willing to take if you're going to move forward. 99.9% of the time, they're not permanent. You know, people get their backs up and they got all huffy, but there's nothing like success to make everybody know your name and think you're great. So there's that. You're going to put some money into yourself. That's the way it is. When you want to change who you are and what you're about, you're going to put some money into it. You might travel. You might take courses. You might do these things. So you have to have the support of your absolutely closest person, whether it's your parent or whether it's your spouse or a brother or your best friend. You have to have the yes from them to spend that extra money on some courses, or to take that journey that will lead you to the person that you will need to talk to get your life going. That's just called an investment in self. And, you know, the whole community invested in you as a child. They sent you to school. And it's okay to have that investment in yourself. That is what we should do. And sometimes it's just an investment of time, that you have to spend the time to do what it is you're going to do, to practice, to learn, and to work on that. So your biggest ally in this is your ability to discuss what you're doing with your closest person. Pick one person, the person most likely to support you in what you're doing, and sit down and say, look, this is what I want to talk to you about. I have a dream. I don't know quite how I'm going to get to it yet, but I want it to become real. I want to talk about my dream with you because I trust you, and I think you'll say some of the words that I need to hear to help me go towards my dream. And looking at what you wrote in the other video, you will choose your person. It might be your spouse or your partner. It might not. There are many spouses who they themselves go into fear of poverty or fear of shame as you step out of a known pattern. And I know this from my own family. My father was, he was the third in line to be a physician. But he didn't want to be a physician. And that caused a lot of split for a long time between his father and him. But it wasn't permanent, because parents love you down deep. They really do. So they'll come around eventually. So your biggest thing there is to communicate. Find one person, communicate. Tell them when you've had any success at all. Tell them when you've had frustrations. Tell them when you have doubts. Tell them when you are really happy about whatever happened. And tell them that you're going to do that. You need someone that you can call and talk to, or go have a beer with, or whatever, that will keep you moving on your road towards your dream. And that's communication is your biggest pal, your new best friend. And then there's the no communication. There are people who don't want to know. They don't want you to change. They think you're just fine, just the way you are. And that is a really sad thing, because those are the people that don't see you. And they will try to hold you back. They will be sure to tell you what's wrong. They will go, told you it wouldn't work. Whatever work means. I've often wondered about that term. Don't talk to them about it. Just don't talk to them about You keep doing what you're doing, and you don't talk to them. If they ask you, hey, you're acting funny these days, what are you doing anyway? You just say, well, I've got a project I'm working on. It's going to take me a while, but I just got to, I'm working on it. I'll tell you about it when I get there. And you change the subject. Even if that's your mother or your father, and they can be the most dangerous, not just because they're afraid. But it's okay to just say, keep it kind of like that and let go of it. Other hurdles. Yes, money is a hurdle. So how are you going to, if it takes money, you're going to need to earn some extra money. And there's some ways to do that and some ways that are not so good. The big one here, too, is failure. That terrible fear of failure. And I learned something, a couple of months ago that really sat me up. A fellow who had spent a lot of his time just jack poor, and he was living in a van with flat tires, and life was really terrible. Finally figured it out, and he said, there's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. There's no such thing as failure. There is only feedback. The failure is in not applying the feedback. And I think you should write that on your paper there in nice big letters. There's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. The only failure is in not applying the feedback. Because so many times, we go, bang, that didn't work. Well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. No. That was feedback. You just have to do it a different way. Do it a different way. There's going to be pushback from everything out there because you're taking an idea and pushing it into reality. Well, reality is full. Thank you. Reality is full. And part of reality is you're doing what you're doing and you're supposed to do it forever and never change. Well, that reality is now being asked to step aside and make room for your dream. So that reality is going to push back and things won't work and there will be delays and things will happen and you will be diverted for a while, and you come back and you keep working on your dream every day. And you keep talking to the people who support you, and you kind of gently slide through and go on by the people who do not support you. And you're going to get ready for change. Even in doing that one little tiny piece, you're already in a different place. You've already taken charge of the support system. You are already empowering yourself. This is empowerment. You are already learning to do things differently. And as you change, you will find improvement. You will find successes. You will have glitches and bumps along the way. That will be the feedback. And you will find empowerment. Someone asked a really interesting fellow who'd gone from nothing to a lot of money, oh, what's the cost of success? Doesn't it cost a lot? And he laughed and he said, who cares? It's a lot more expensive than... What's the cost of success? What's the cost of failure? What's the cost of failure? It's a lot cheaper than success. Success is wonderful. Success is what you're looking for. I'm sorry I messed that up, but it's one I've been working on too. So success is where you're going, and it doesn't all come in a lump. There is no lottery out there. Don't wait for it. the big check and the guys with the balloons. Don't wait for them. Your success is going to be yours. You're going to build it yourself. It's going to be in your hands. You are going to learn how to take hold of that yourself. Walk each way. Money is a big issue. What if, if your whole family's in, I don't know, nowhere, Wyoming, and your success place is actually, I don't know, Pacific Northwest or Costa Rica or something like that. They're not going to want to hear about what you're doing. In your mind, you could make a promise to at least show them a good time when you get here. Bring them out, let them see for themselves what it is you do. So these are your two big ones. And you need one person that you can talk to freely and honestly and openly. And you give yourself permission not to talk to the others. And you give yourself permission to spend the time, and most of it's time, to create the foundation for your dream, which may require some money. There's a lot out there that can be done without a lot of money. You don't just go buy the house that you're looking for. You start, and we'll spend more time on that next time, which is breaking the big dream into smaller bits of the dream that feed into the dream. If I wanted to build a house, I wouldn't go out and start with the roof. It just doesn't make sense. And in that same way, we'll build your dream little bit by little bit. So your change is going to be towards improvement, self-improvement, towards success, and towards empowerment. And the others will come to see you in a different light and turn towards you instead of away from you. And the fears over here, abandonment, poverty, failure, and shame, evaporate. They just evaporate as you take on this project. And you're a strong person. And it may be more than one person, that certainly makes sense, but your strong person is there to say, yes, you're doing it. You're doing it. Yes, yes, yes. And so in the next session, we're going to look at the vision and break it into manageable chunks, and we will start with what is your first step. Well, you've already got your first step. Your first step is to find this person. Just find that person between now and the next video. Find that person and call that person up and say, I'm looking at these videos, and they said I needed to find one person who will support me, who will say yes to an idea that I have. And I would like that person to be you. And if they say, that doesn't sound right, you go, okay, no problem. No problem. See you later. Call up somebody else. Until then, now, the next time is called One Step Forward. Only we're going to first break it down from the big down to the little bitty, and then take our steps. Lay out some steps that need to be taken. And this is where it gets hard. These are hard ones. This one and the other one. It's about stepping up to your own dream and saying, yes, this is what I want. And that I have over here disappointing your other people, whoever they may be. But there's also a fear of your own disappointment. What if you never make it to your dream? Well, you'll be closer than you are right now, no matter what. And one time I went to climb a mountain with a friend, and I got halfway up the mountain, and I found a rock, and I said, this is the most beautiful place I've been in years. Forget the mountain. I'm going to stay right here. And I was blissfully happy. Sometimes that happens. What's to worry? What's to worry? So thank you. I will see you in the next one. And if you have questions, do call and let's talk about it. And for those of you who are really ready to take some serious action, to move yourself towards this dream in a very profound way, you can look up, just click on this, on the link here in the video, that will take you to the Empower Network landing page. And listen to these ideas. Listen to this. Watch the video. Take a good look at it. This is a company that can give you a path towards making the money that you want to make to get yourself towards that dream shorter and faster and more powerfully than perhaps you can do by yourself. So take that opportunity, make that decision to invest in yourself, to invest in your future, and click on the link and just make that decision to do it. So thank you very much. Next time. Bye-bye.